Bet you didn't know. Bet you didn't know. Bet you didn't know.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Bet You Didn't Know.
I'm
Ryan.
Adam. Yeah, and that's Ryan. Bet you don't know what the hell he's doing because I'm wondering myself.
It's funny.
Is
My
it?
soundproof foam started falling off.
That part was funny. I do agree.
Yeah. And then as I was trying to stand up to move it, I ripped my headphones out of my head, which is pretty sweet.
Oh, that feels good all the time.
So then I decided to switch out my headphones, and I was doing that. My mic stand collapsed.
Carter, what's up, Carter?
So,
Oh, the mic stand collapsed.
yeah, it was a
Holy crap!
mic stand collapser.
Yeah, that's a
Mr.
quandary.
Jackson, what's up, buddy? All right. Let me see if I can get ready here. Holy Jesus.
Going with
Well,
the
that
regular
sure was
headphones.
just a fun little adventure there for a second.
I can imagine.
Don't mind me. I might be a little bit out of breath. Not too much, though.
Yeah, it's quite a little workout you just did there.
Yeah, I'm fucking sweating. I don't know what happened. Welcome to a production of the
Bet you didn't know.
Adre-
Podcast.
Bet You Didn't Know podcast under the Adrenaline Network.
ADRL, yeah, the ADRL network here and channel
ADRL
here
Network.
on
Adrenaline
YouTube.
Network. No, Adrenaline podcast.
Yeah,
ADRL Network.
it's getting hard to keep it
No,
all
it's
straight.
going to start getting a little confusing here in not too long. All my
Yeah.
Star Wars figures were falling off on my head as I was
Oh Christ, that's the worst
trying to
part.
fix that shit. I know. It's like it's raining Star
It was
Wars.
literally raining men.
It's Hallelujah.
Yeah, I know you would scream that.
Hallelujah that they were
Yeah,
Star Wars figures.
yeah, just small men.
Small men. Well,
No.
that sounded weird when I said that.
What small
Yeah,
men?
a little bit. Yeah, small men with a little bit of a S.
Oh,
Small men.
yeah, yeah. You put a little bit of stank on it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to. It was an accidental stink. It was like it's just accidental, It's like a
Yeah.
shark.
Yeah, God, those happen. The Pat McAfee podcast. One of the one of the guys
my
on
gosh.
there.
On if you didn't.
I did see that one come down.
Okay, there we go. Here's some more.
That's
good.
all right.
That's all right. We don't mind. Happy little
Squares. Mistakes, like Bob Ross would say.
Yeah, happy little squares. It'll probably start raining foam here in not too long.
Yeah, it won't surprise me. This will know what it is, and it won't. It's not going to hurt, so that's good.
That's right. Now I'm going to use these other headphones, but I've got to
I don't blame you.
make sure that they're going to be compatible with a hat. With a
Yeah.
hat.
They
How the
are.
hell's everybody doing? How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah?
doing pretty darn good. Yeah.
Good.
The only problem I've run into with headphones on the hat is the placement of the
The
bar.
little dimple on the top.
Yeah, that metal nub at the top. Boy, if you put your headphones on that, you feel it.
Yeah, it only takes a second to realize you're in the wrong spot.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. But at least if nothing else, one thing I guess you do have going for you is that if you do get hit in the
I only have
head,
one thing going for me.
well, no, one of the many things that you have going for you,
Thank you.
or one more thing to add to your
Appreciate
list is that
Yes.
with all that fallen foam, it's not going to put you onto this list.
Fallen Foam
That's right.
would be a cool band name.
Fallen foam. Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. Foam
Not really.
Pit,
Actually, now that I
foam,
think about
foam pit of spikes. Yeah, just
Foam
keep,
pit of spike.
I don't know.
Foam pit of spike.
Somebody's probably
Oh.
used it.
It almost reminds me of that poor girl that was at that convention where I don't know what it was. Yeah.
God, yeah.
And they had they had like
OnlyFans
7-8 foot stand-up platforms in this foam pit. And I guess they didn't tell her that it was like only 1 cube deep
Yeah,
the whole way
if
around.
even-
And she
it didn't even
pulled-
seem like it was that deep.
No, she literally jumped off the top 6-7 feet in the air, landed on her ass, and completely broke her back. She just hit and rolled over,
Yeah,
paralyzed, done.
Man.
What
yeah.
idiot? Why would you do that? Who? What?
It
Who
seems
the
like
hell
that,
is running that place?
why do you have a foam pit that doesn't have ample foam? That defeats the whole point and purpose of a foam pit. But
I agree. I agree.
that's just
Jason
me.
Byers, what's up? Nick Ray, what's up? Carter Jackson, what's up? All the other 500 or 600 people are watching.
What
What's up?
is up?
What it be? How's
Welcome.
everybody doing? All right.
Hopefully
So
everybody's doing well.
I know we really try not to overlap drag racing into this one, even though it is under the ADRL network. This one's going to be a little different. All the other podcasts that we have coming up will be drag racing oriented, but I did just have to drop a shout out to now I'm sure that Nick is going to correct me on this because it's not technically a world record unless you do it 3 times in a row. Is that right, Nick?
That's my understanding or what I've heard.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think to be at least
oh my
considered
gosh,
Guinness.
What in the world? What is the shit that Facebook throws at me sometimes? Totally distracted.
Everything.
What is? Oh my gosh! All right, hold on. I got to keep going through here. So yeah, we want to talk about the new world record, or I mean, I guess. So can we call it? It's not necessarily a world record. I mean, he did it, but it doesn't. It's not going to break. How's that going to work? So I know he ran a 5.3 at 272 in a door slammer. Pretty bitching quarter mile. Super badass. Mark mixed. Oh, it was a turbo. That's right. It was a turbo car. Jose Gonzalez, he's an NHR Pro Mod driver, but that's pretty damn fast. That is pretty damn fast. But you have to make the run and back it up twice. How come nobody's talking about that? I mean, give the guy props, right? Should we be doing that? We should give the guy props. I mean,
yeah, and that's kind of that was kind of my thought when we were talking, or when you mentioned it right before we went live, is that I wonder if in the wording they're saying that he broke the record, meaning
well, you can't break it though. Or did you break it? You
I
can't break it unless you do it 3 times, or you can't
technically,
hold it.
He went faster than the record.
You have to make that run and then back it up twice for it to be the world record. But he broke the time, but it won't count as a world record time.
Is there any other sport that's the case in? Because like Usain Bolt, if he runs a race and breaks the world record, he done broke the world record. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
He
it's
doesn't
not
have
like
to
in
turn around and do it 2 more times.
Right. It's not like the Olympics, right? I mean, if Usain Bolt is running his ass off and breaks the world record, he's broke the world record. He doesn't have to do it 2 more times. But I know drag racing is different because it's it's mechanical. It's I'm sure there's a reason why that is in there.
Like if in NASCAR, does somebody set the fastest lap and then they have to do that lap that fast 2 more times? It's just my questioning. I don't know why it would have to be that way or why it's set that way. But
yeah, I don't know as well. I as well, knowing not those
things
in
which you speak.
Well, hey man, I'm glad to be back on here again. Bet you didn't know. Appreciate you guys joining us again. It's kind of a pointless podcast other than learning weird, cool shit that you may not have known or forgot about. And we've gotten a lot of traction with it. It's something fun. It was Adam's idea. He told me to jump on his little boat, and I was like, "All right, let's do it." And so there we are.
A year
with
later.
No oars or anything. Yeah, we're just kind of drifting.
Seeing where the current takes us. And
yeah.
Per your request, I mean, I guess we got a little gust of guidance last week when you asked about going back to the list of, I don't want to call it horrible deaths, although some of them are horrible. I guess we'll just call them.
Am
Unfortunate.
I going to get what I asked for?
You are. I've got the list in hand, and we are ready to commence with the. God, it feels like probably 15 to 20 more pages we still have to go in here.
Hey,
really? Thank you very much.
Yeah. Way to go, Adam. That's right. Way to go, Adam.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this guy throwing shade all the time. Jesus.
It's
all about Adam. All about Prince Adam. Him and his fucking palatial estate and his mansion and all of his herd of Dobermans and shepherds and
yes, the flock.
The flock. The sheep. We won't talk about his sheep.
Nah, those are for buggering.
He's lucky they're not dead.
Yeah, exactly. One day they'll be killed in front of me. But getting back to our list, we left off apparently, and I was way off on this one, but apparently we left off just about the 1800s. So
Oh, really? That wasn't long ago.
no, not too long ago at all. Actually, pretty recent. And some of these people actually have pictures, portraits, some are photographs. So I mean,
Oh,
we're getting into
okay.
more modern times.
Ooh,
The
some are photographed.
good thing
Oh
about it
boy.
is the names are getting more modern, which is a great help to myself.
Yeah, you're
Um,
not dealing with.
yeah, just some
I'm
of
not
it.
even going to try any of them. You
Uh,
could probably just make something up, and it would be close to one.
Sometimes you just look at it, you just go with what you said first, and you hope it doesn't pop back up in the paragraph as
It's
you
like
keep reading.
Harald Shidrin McKinzaladen.
There are probably names that we've
Yeah.
covered very similar to that. But this
Hmm.
one, fortunately, March 1809, this one's a nice, easy one. John Cummings. Can't get much easier than that.
No, thanks, John. Making it easy for Adam.
Exactly. Um, John Cummings, after seeing a circus knife swallower, uh, began the interest and habit of swallowing knives, which no big deal.
No,
Uh,
no big deal.
well, I
Swallow
mean,
knives, not a big deal, folks.
if you think about it from a circus standpoint, to where a person swallows a knife, to where they're really just they're putting it down their esophagus and pulling it back up. They're not swallowing the knife.
I always
That-
thought they were retractable.
no, they're not.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
okay.
yeah. Sorry
Okay.
to burst the bubble on that.
Oh,
It's
so they
just
were really
it's just
yeah.
all about the putting.
Angle of the dangle.
Yeah, it's just putting it to where it goes straight down your esophagus, right, basically into your stomach, and then you can pull it out.
It's weird
just
how
have
you
to
know
keep it
so much
straight.
about that. Do you swallow knives?
No, you know my picky eating habits. I don't swallow too much, but the things I the things I swallow, I eat a lot of. Um, you can read into those jokes however you want to, clip that however you
I'm not
can.
even sure what's happening.
Nope. But John Cummings decided that, the circus knife swallower, putting the knife in and pulling it back out, all well and good and fine. But he wanted to take it a little bit further, and he began swallowing knives, just flat out knives. And he started this off on one occasion by swallowing 4 knives. And in relatively quick time, he managed to pass 3 of the knives. Not bad.
He
3 out of
he actually passed the knife
yeah,
through
3 of
his intestines and
3 of them.
out his ass.
Yeah,
3
yeah,
knives.
3
They
knives.
clearly were not sharp. They were like butter
I'm
knives, I'd
guessing that they were probably more on the butter
with a
side of
blunt tip.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, these probably were not sharpened knives. That would just be, I mean, how do you even swallow a sharpened knife? To start off with, you're just slicing yourself to shit right out the gate.
I don't know.
So then after that, he stepped up the game. He
Oh.
later swallowed 14 knives.
Oh boy.
And some days later, and with a little bit of abdominal pain, he ended up passing all of them. So they didn't mention the one that went unaccounted for in the first attempt. So I'm assuming that one never passed. But he ended up going 14 for 14 in the next occasion. So hey, must be
But
something
okay.
right.
So is there still the case of one missing?
From this story so far, there is at least one missing.
Okay. All right.
Still.
Okay.
So then to one up that, he finally swallowed 20 knives and then a clasp knife case. So I'm envisioning almost like maybe a glasses case or something similar in
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of size or claspness.
Mm-hmm.
And after a few days, he passed only the case. He ended up he died.
Oh.
He died after 4 years in pain, and on an autopsy had a knife blade, a spring found in his intestine, and between 30 and 40 fragments of metal, wood, and horn in his stomach.
He was practicing.
I think he was practicing, but I also think that he may have been one of those people that has that mental illness or compulsion to eat things. There was a show on probably TLC or some channel
Oh,
like
I
that.
saw that.
People that
So
used to eat
horrible.
drywall or rocks and crap like
Yeah,
that.
that one lady that had the hole in their
Cotton.
drywall.
Yeah,
She
and she
was
would
like
just
walk
eat.
over and break
just
off a
pick up
chunk and
drywall.
eat it.
Right. So people like that, there's a mental compulsion or something going on there that's causing them to have a desire for it at some point. So Yeah, and like Nick says, the guy eating glass. Yeah, there were. We've all seen that guy chewing up glass.
Oh yeah. Well, wasn't
And-
there the case of the guy that ate a plane?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did piece by
Yeah,
piece,
he-
part by
Piece
part.
by piece, ate an
Yeah.
entire plane.
Fucking wacky.
So some of the knives didn't come out. Did his body digest them? Is that what they're saying? And it just like broke it down, and there were fragments and stuff. As you mean,
It seems like or sounds like that. And
Hmm.
1809. I mean, I guess we're guessing that all the knives were metal. Maybe some of them were wood. I don't know, to where they could possibly break down in the stomach acids, things like that. But the metal seems to have at least broken down in some fashion if they were finding 30 to 40 fragments of metal and wood. And then also horn, which would probably be from the handle of the knives, in his stomach.
Wow,
So yeah,
that's enthralling.
it is. But to swallow 20 knives, not pass any of them, and die 4 years later in pain. That 4 years.
Yeah, I
had
mean
to
that's just
suck
that's shitty for him.
for him, for
Yeah.
sure.
That's no
Yeah.
good.
No, it's not how you envision going out, but teach their own.
We ain't going out like that, as
It's Cypress Hill.
Cypress Hill would say.
Yes, they would. We ain't going out. Another way I guess you wouldn't figure you'd go out, and this is actually kind of similar to a story we covered in a real early episode, but this is the victims of the London beer flood. And if you remember, we had talked
London
about
beer flood. I remember the honey one.
the molasses flood in Boston, that it was like a 6-foot
Yeah.
wave or higher.
It's such a fascinating story. Yeah, just a
It was crazy.
giant tsunami of syrup coming down the
Molasses
streets.
slowly
Molasses.
but fastly at the same time.
Just eating, turning everybody into like amber, sort of like amber. They get
Mhm.
stuck in it and then hardens up, and they're just
Animals died, and I think the
Petrified.
harbor the harbor was discolored for months, like 6-7 months after that. But this was in London on October 17th, 1814, at the Mew and Company Horseshoe Brewery. A 22-foot tall wooden vat of fermenting porter burst, causing chain reactions and destroying several large beer barrels. The beer subsequently flooded the nearby slum and killed 8 people. Several people also subsequently died from alcohol poisoning as a result of vaporized liquor.
no shit. They were
They
getting high
inhaled
off the fumes.
They basically they inhaled the shit, and it caused them to overdose or get alcohol poisoning just off the fumes alone. That's kind of crazy. And
That is real crazy.
I've seen those bars that'll you can take a shot by breathing it. They'll vaporize a shot of liquor, and you can actually get drunk off of it. So I'm assuming it's in
What?
the same. Yeah,
Never
you've
heard of
seen
such
that?
a thing.
Huh.
No.
Yeah.
Huh, I'm curious. That's strange.
Yeah. So yeah, you can just breathe in the alcohol.
So the giant vats ruptured and flooded the town and then drowned some people, killed some people?
It flooded a nearby slum. So I'm assuming with most slums, especially back at that time with sewers and drainage, things like that not being up to par, most
Yeah.
slums were probably at the bottom of a hill or gully or right at the edge of a river or something like that. So this
Reminds me of like gangs
flood
in
just
New
hit.
York.
Yeah, it's probably similar
Yeah.
type styling.
Mhm.
So this one barrel burst, which then caused a chain reaction of the other ones, and then ended up flooding that little slum, killing 8 people, and then several people after it just from vaporized liquor.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a crazy one.
Yeah. However, a fairly pleasing story.
I guess of ways to go, getting just out of
Drunk to
nowhere.
death. I mean,
Yeah,
actually, I
drunk
don't
to
know if that sounds. I was thinking like the slums, and I imagine all these
But those people drowned.
bums were like,
Yeah, those people I'm assuming were the victims of drowning. Now the vaporized liquor ones, that could have been after the fact, could have been during the time. Hard to say.
I wonder if do you think there was so much they drowned because there was so much of it?
Probably. Yeah, it was probably just the initial.
Like a wall, like a
Flood.
tsunami of beer?
Yeah, just a wall of beer coming at you. It's probably got enough force to at least knock you off your feet or something, knock you out, and then you drown
Slam you
subsequent to
against the
that.
curb,
Yeah, bash
against
you
the
into
old
something.
against the old stone steps. You know,
Yep.
the stone step that they'd use to get on and off their carriages and horses.
Yeah, out of the horses.
Yeah.
I could see that being the case.
Well, fascinating.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Not quite as. I mean, it's still
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's bad, but that molasses one, I think, as far as flooding, takes the cake.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, November 6th, 1816, Gouverneur Morris. And it's spelled Gouverneur, not governor, but Gouverneur.
Gouverneur.
Died from an infection after using a whalebone to clear a blockage in his urinary tract. I'm guessing there was some sort of piercing or tearing that then
he used a
infection
whalebone to clear some blockage in his urethra.
Yeah.
That is friggin' hardcore, dude.
Yeah.
Like, how far do you have to go before you realize you plugged it or unplugged it or what happened? I mean,
I don't know, but it's not sounding like a good idea.
It's not sounding like
Like a
that's the
good idea.
smart thought. Oh, there we go. Another piece of film. Hey, what's up, buddy? Nice to meet you.
So, yeah.
That doesn't sound
It's
very
not
pleasing.
sounding fun.
It's not sounding fun. That's funny, Adam.
I wonder if maybe that, now you have to wonder, was that really what it was? Is this a David Carradine situation?
Oh, fuck. I don't know, dude.
Or was it?
I wonder, could you imagine, like, you're in such agony, right? And you're just thinking, you got your junk in your hair and you're like, oh my God, this is so bad.
Yeah,
like I
it's
haven't
all
pissed in
blocked
a
up or
week
something.
and I feel like my bladder's going to explode. And he's like, in that moment of like, all right, here we go. I'm just going to do it.
I got it.
And like in that moment of,
oops.
Well, I mean, what if it was accidentally was barbed and he didn't realize it?
Yeah, I don't know.
And it was
I'm
like
thinking a whalebone's got to be curved. It's like,
yeah, but what if the end was like barbed on accident? He didn't realize he hand carved it and they put it in. He couldn't pull it out, and then he's like trying to jerk it out, and
it just causes irreparable damage.
You'd been better off with a coat hanger, buddy.
Oh, definitely. You can at least bend that thing straight. That's all I would say. I can't imagine a whalebone being straight enough and thin enough to be.
I said no metal hangers.
Oh man,
mother dearest,
nightmare.
Must have caught the clap. Yeah, something.
I could see.
I could
see that being the case, where he was all blocked. I'm glad you're enjoying this, Carter. every time I see that you're on one of these episodes, I think, oh, his parents are gonna.
Yeah, his parents like, oh no. Well, I mean, maybe.
Who knows? Yeah. Either way, as long as you're enjoying it, we're enjoying it. That's all that really matters. That's all this is about, anyway.
We're all here to learn some crazy shit that you can share with your friends.
Yeah.
Whether you're bench racing or hanging out in middle school, having some beers behind the school with your buddies.
Yep.
Oh
man,
you got something cool to share.
Good days.
Not that I condone that.
No, or
not that I did that myself.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't happen. All right, moving on to William Snyder.
Oh, there goes another piece. What's up, buddy? Peace.
Peace out. On January 11th, 1854, William Snyder, at the age of 13, died in San Francisco, California, reportedly after a circus clown swung him around by his heels.
Oh, well, okay. Can you say that again?
Yeah.
Hold on. Well, let me see if I got it right. A guy died from getting swung in circles by his heels by a circus clown.
13-year-old William Snyder out of San Francisco, California. But yeah, you got the rest of it correct.
Okay. Is there a catch? Did he like?
No, I don't think anybody caught him. I think that might be why the kid died.
So he's swinging him around and accidentally let go and threw him.
It could have been a let go. It could have been a.
It doesn't say. We're it's a cliffhanger.
It does not say.
What? We need the answer.
Hold on.
How did the poor kid die? What's in the box? What's in the box? I gotta know, man. You can't just go swinging people by the ankles and kill them and not know what happened.
I'm gonna try to see if I can look it up and find out.
Yeah, was he in a haunted house? Exactly. No, that's a great one, Carter. Yeah, potentially in a haunted house. He was being swung in circles and was impaled on some prop, a machete or something.
I mean, there are props that have been found out to be real human bodies in haunted houses
Yeah, I
before.
think we've talked about that.
Yeah, I think there was that cowboy guy that kind of got mummified out on the prairie or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm,
Crazy as that. We use real human bodies in our haunted house.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be the scarier of the options, no doubt about that.
How was everybody's Thanksgiving?
I mean, over here it was all pretty good.
Yeah,
I
mine
mean,
was good.
one downside was I didn't really get to hang out with my sister and her husband and my niece on Thanksgiving itself because they flew out from California, and not long after they landed, they noticed that little baby Alex had a fever.
Oh
and
shit.
ended up she had hand, foot, and mouth disease.
Oh, hand, foot, and mouth. Yeah, that's
So-
some pretty gross shit. I mean, but what do you expect? I mean,
It's kids. That's
shoving
what
it-
happens.
yeah, man.
So
Hand, foot, and mouth.
didn't get to see them on Thanksgiving itself, but I did get to head over and hang out for a few hours before they actually took off. So that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Always interesting.
Mine was good. We had it at the Rock. Really?
Interesting.
No way, man. You did Thanksgiving at the Rock.
Was there a race
You
that weekend
Carter.
or something?
Yeah,
That'd
I think
be
I
my
remember
guess.
seeing. Yeah, I think I remember seeing something.
Huh. Yeah, I guess anything's possible out there. They've got the.
I hope
they
Dan
definitely-
and Al had some type of huge catered spread for everybody. That'd been pretty bad. But I mean,
It's
it
it's
seems
tough.
like everybody. I mean, when you got people like the Duguay, Mr. Duguay showing up, making all that killer food for everybody, it's hard to want to. You don't really need to cater anything. Everybody's
Yeah.
doing food all the time.
I'd almost feel like
they
they-
do Junior Jam. That's cool.
Yeah. How'd you do? I'd almost feel like that with those, everybody kind of knows everybody. I wonder if it's just kind of a big potluck thing where everybody does something or a little something and it all comes together and just a big old feast. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, like a giant potluck.
Yeah. Yeah. I can envision it that way.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Nick. Yeah, I know those are tough, dude. it
Holidays
doesn't-
always make those tough.
Yeah. Time does make it better, but it's never going to be the same.
It helps, but it never heals.
Yeah, that's true. I know firsthand myself.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, it was good though. I'm pretty sure I gained a few 100 pounds.
Yeah. You know me, I declared war on carbs as I do every Thanksgiving and honestly every day.
I was swollen like a tick, man. I had to go on a couple day fast here.
Yeah.
Drink coffee and water for a few days.
Oh, I get that. I
Mhm.
know how those go. I'm feeling it myself.
Fasting is good stuff.
I just have to eat
Lost third
the
round Friday and Saturday, lost second round Sunday. Yeah. Win some,
Hey.
lose some.
what's happen. Those do happen.
That's right, though. You're there. You're having fun. You're doing it, right? And that's the thing. Having
Yep.
a good time, enjoying it.
That's
But-
just like this podcast.
That's right. That's right.
All right, let's go on to June 6, 1867, when Mathilda of Austria, Archduchess of Austria, and daughter of Archduke Albrecht, Duke of Teschen, set her dress on fire while trying to hide a cigarette from her father, who had forbidden her to smoke.
And died.
Yeah. That's what this list is all about.
No stop, drop, and roll.
I mean, back in those days, you got so many layers on. I think one gets going, you're just pretty much,
You're like wrapped up like
Yeah.
a torch.
yeah, you are basically a human torch at that point. So
yeah, man.
unless somebody's right on top of it,
Yeah. I've been enjoying watching people set themselves on fire, lighting their farts. That's some
oh
fun
yeah, that's
shit.
always good.
Mhm. Should I do one? Should I light a fart? You guys want to watch me light a fart?
I'm not sure if that'll make our viewers go up, down, or which direction, but whatever.
We might lose everyone at once,
It's
or we
very
might
possible.
gain all of them.
I don't know.
everyone
I-
at once.
You know, I mean, I'd say if you got one in the chamber, fire.
No, I don't. I
All
don't.
right. Well,
No.
you keep us posted on that, and we'll keep on rolling. Let's
Have y'all
see.
heard about the trails in the woods at the Rock?
No, I hadn't.
You know, I have heard about some things that went down in the woods at the Rock. But I mean, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't.
Makes sense. Makes
Maybe
sense.
the trails are haunted.
Oh man, that'd be if they are and nobody told me, I'm gonna be pretty upset about that. But at least there's opportunities in the future to correct that.
Mm-hmm. So wool is highly flammable. That's right.
Oh yeah. Wool goes up. Have you ever, and there were videos. You ever seen the videos of people in like a cotton factory that, for whatever reason, light a lighter to like try to undo a rope that's holding a bale of cotton, and then the cotton just catches fire, and there's no stopping it at that point. The whole warehouse. Oh man,
I've never seen that. Sounds pretty stupid.
it is pretty stupid. Yeah,
But that's why I would watch it.
yeah, that's exactly why I watch it too. Gotta appreciate stupidity.
Yeah, I do. I do appreciate stupidity.
There's plenty of it out there. So if you don't, you're in trouble.
If you're
Or overwhelmed.
it's the old saying: if you're wondering who the smartest person in the room is, it's probably not you.
Yeah, every party's got an asshole, and if you don't see him, look in a mirror.
That's right.
Yep. All right, let's move on to Clement Valdingham.
Valdez.
Yep, Clement Valdingham is what we're going with on
Valdez.
June 17th, 1871. Valdingham, an American politician and lawyer who was defending a man accused of murder, accidentally shot himself while demonstrating how the victim might have done so. His client was acquitted. That's the best lawyer ever. That dude is willing to go to no ends to get you out of there.
Oh, that worked. Well, there it is. Proof's in the pudding. You're good, dude.
Hell yeah, Carter. Shoot them on over.
I have pics. I'll send you some. Have you all heard about the trails in the woods at the Rock? Is it like pine tree trails? I think are they cool, like majestic trails that you can take? Did you take your Burromax back there? I'd imagine went for a little cruise back in the woods on your Burromax.
You could take your little RC truck out there and dominate the woods.
Dominate these woods.
I'm not even sure what that means.
I'm not sure what that means. I'm talking about, like, if you were to say that, Adam, if you were to say dominate these woods, you'd be talking about your property.
Yeah. No, then it would make perfect sense. I know the trails
like
out
if
there.
Prince Adam said dominate these woods.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, you're talking about your forest. I got you.
Then be like, go build a treehouse.
Yeah, right. Jackson's gonna send some pics.
We'll take them. You can send them to Adam at adrltour.com and I'll get them.
Yeah, we're just sending them to my cell phone, dude. I want them first.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't care. It's always a
friend of mine met Nikki Glaser. Glaser? Is it Glaser or Glasser?
Glazer? Nikki Glaser, the comedian?
Yeah. He posted some pictures backstage with her. She seems like she could be a little on the floozy. She seems a little floozy-esque, but which is kind of her shtick, isn't it? Like that's
that's kind of her thing, and just kind of her.
She's like a tease, just kind of like
personality. I think she's been dating Chris Convey, Tim Convey's brother. I think we may have mentioned that before. I don't know. Either way, she's been dating him and living here in St. Louis. So yeah, that's about one of the most famous comedians we have in our St. Louis area. Which,
interesting enough, Dolly Parton is 77, and she didn't really look like it during the Cowboys halftime show, did she?
No, she did not.
I was just a little like, hey, I know what she looked like in 77, but at 77.
Yeah, two different things, almost similar.
There was like I'm like looking, I'm digging, I'm staring, I'm zooming. Dude, no wrinkles on her neck, none on her chest. I mean, dude, whoever's keeping her intact is doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Not that 77 is really that old, but
No, but I mean, the thing about it is the crazy thing with Dolly Parton is she can go out in public with her husband and not be recognized when she's not done up.
no way.
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Why do I feel like I have to look this up?
Look into it.
I'm going to right now.
Go for it and talk about it. Be about it. Massive sand holes. Nice. Oh yeah, Ryan gets the picks first. I get it.
Yeah, where? What's happening? Did I get something?
Carter said he sent them to you.
All right. Where'd you send them? Did you send them through Messenger?
Very possibly. I'll have to check that out next time we're out there before the races start, because I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
Okay. No, you're fine. You can tell me what after I tell you what.
Okay.
There is, boy, after enduring those races, there is not much motivation in my legs or ability to walk extra feet or miles. that part's for sure. But
That is not. Get out of here. So, all right. So, where are these pictures of Dolly Parton without any makeup?
I don't know if there are many.
She's like my grandma. My grandmother, you would never, ever, ever see her without her hair done and makeup.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. And that, I mean, even Dolly's husband, I think, is not reclusive, but not in the spotlight, runs around pretty unrecognizable.
Do you think Dolly's bald?
I don't know about bald, but that's definitely not her hair. That part's for sure.
Jolene.
She had some bangers.
I mean, somebody posted this picture, Dolly Parton without a wig and makeup, and I just can't think. I just don't think that's her, man. There's no way that's not her, man.
Man, I've seen some. You've seen those TikTok videos of women who start off a video without makeup and then, flip their hair down and back, and then they've got makeup on, and it's not even close to being funny. She's shaved.
I'll tell you what, young Dolly Parton. Woo! She's a pretty lady.
Yeah.
Pretty lady.
Wouldn't be too upset about that. That's for sure.
And Jolene. Have you heard the there's a slowed down version of that song? And it sounds like a guy singing.
Is it like
she's
a slow down
and then she puts on a wig? Maybe she does. I don't know. I mean, I see that stuff on there, but yeah, you should see if you can find the slowed down version of Jolene.
Yeah, I'll try to find it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Let's see what we can pull up here
like,
after we get out of this.
All right, cool. All right, what do we got next? Who's dying next?
Next, Henry Taylor, November 1872. Henry Taylor, a pallbearer at Kensal Green Cemetery in London, was crushed by the coffin he was carrying after he tripped on a stone.
I mean, do you think that's the only time that's happened? Why did he make the history books?
It can't be the only time.
That particular situation. Like, I feel like someone else that could have happened.
I'm sure it's happened. And things like that have had to have happened, but for whatever reason, it didn't make the list until 1872.
Yeah, I mean that's almost like the old school. I can imagine them carrying it to the hole and then tripping and then like falling into it with the casket landing on top of you.
Oh, that'd be heavy.
Yeah, that would be heavy. That would definitely like heavy. Was that like a 60s reference? Oh, that's heavy, man. Like 70s, maybe.
It's kind of layered a little bit.
Layered. Oh, what do you call that? It's got several
layered.
meanings at once.
Yeah,
My brother Tony would know.
I'm sure he would
He's a
definitely
master
have
of it.
some master of. He's a wordsmith.
He is.
So yeah, somebody being crushed back off, and that would suck. But coffins are heavy. I don't know if you've ever been a pallbearer there. They are heavy, and I don't shy away from those videos where people, the pallbearers drop the casket, or it falls out of the back of a hearse. Those sorts of things do kind of entertain me.
Oh, look at that. You're right, Carter. Look at that. Well, that's cool, man. There are trails back there. Well, that looks fun.
Oh yeah, Dan said
wow.
there's like 275 acres of camping back there, so
no
it
shit.
wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, that looks real fun, man. I'll have to bring my Bromax with me. Yep. We'll have to do that.
Get out there and shoot some content.
Yeah.
Get all up close on it, put the GoPros on.
Well, that's just what we call bears, squirrels, and deer content.
Yeah. After Henry Taylor, we'll go with it if it keeps us out of jail. After Henry Taylor got crushed, then we move on to Sir William Payne, who December 19th, 1881, a former British military police officer, died after sustaining severe internal injuries when he fell on a turnip during a hunting trip.
I don't even know what to think. I don't know what to think about that. He fell on a turnip and died.
Mm-hmm. And turnips do have kind of a point, I guess, to them. I don't know if maybe that's what did it, or if it was just hard enough to where he fell on it and
just like hit the wrong pressure point and broke something. And
I'm guessing so. I mean, internal injuries. So he probably he crack a rib or something like that, and then it pierce a lung or a liver or something. It would be my guess.
So a turnip
during a hunting trip, yeah.
Fell, landed on a turnip, and killed himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that.
Impaled?
That could
I mean, could you get impaled? Could you be impaled by a turnip?
I guess you could be impaled by just about anything. I've got nipples. Can you milk me? I guess.
I got nipples. Can you milk me?
Yeah. I guess it is possible with enough force. Anything could impale anybody or anything.
Yeah. I mean, I guess so. I mean, you do see during tornadoes.
Yeah, like pieces of a broom going through a telephone pole.
Yeah, or even pieces of straw sticking into telephone poles.
Yeah.
That to me is crazy. The physics behind that is just insane.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about that.
Impaled.
Fatality. Finish him.
Fatality.
This one is a familiar name. Alan Pinkerton.
Pinkerton. Why does that sound familiar?
Alan was the founder of the Pinkerton Detective Agency, which was also the agency that kind of birthed the Secret Service because they were actually hired for protection of Lincoln. We saw that panned out. But either way, they were a pretty premier detective agency. They would do some union busting and things like that. So they weren't always above board. But Alan Pinkerton, the founder, on July 1st, 1884, died after tripping on pavement, severely bit his tongue, which became infected and later became gangrenous.
Like, how does that? Like, I feel like anytime you have damage to the inside of your mouth, that it heals just so fast. And that would even come with biting into your tongue. So I find it interesting that he got gangrene in his tongue, in his mouth. I mean, maybe. I don't know why. I don't think a...
Yeah, I think that a turnip could do some damage to you.
I believe the plant gets hard, almost like wood. Yeah, that's very okay. Well, I see.
That
Turnip plant.
But yeah, biting your tongue, and then dying of gangrene infection from that.
Yeah. Do you think he became septic, like he's got infection in his blood system, or do you think his tongue swelled up and he choked to death?
It probably got into the blood would be
Yeah.
my guess. I mean, that's why they would, if your foot became gangrenous back in the Civil War, they would amputate so that it would stop the spread. So I'm assuming if it became that in the tongue, they didn't stop the spread. I mean, that's so close to so many vital things and could spread
What
pretty
exactly
easily.
is gangrene?
Let's look up to be sure, because we don't like to spread misinformation on this podcast.
No, we don't. Why don't you call your maid to go find out?
Yeah.
I see you're wearing your tux tonight.
Of course, a little fancy. It's after 6. What are we, heathens?
Because we fancy like Applebee's on a date night.
All right. Gangrene is a serious condition where a loss of blood supply causes body tissue to die.
Oh, okay. So maybe the part that he half bit off wasn't getting a blood or circulation to it, and it died off.
Which then
Got
died.
infected, and he probably
and
didn't cut it off.
Right.
Oh, I see. Rotten flesh, bacterial infection. I
Mm.
had something similar to that. I got bit by something when I was in the Marine Corps out in the field, and a couple days later, my foot swelled up like a football, and I couldn't put my boots on anymore. Well, the first couple days, I was forcing my boot on. It was really shitty.
Mm.
And then one day I took it off, and it was just not going back on. And finally, they talked me into going to the corpsman, and had this dark red line going from my foot all the way up the inside of my leg. And they said that that's like an infection line. And they literally had to cut about a quarter size of skin out of the top of my foot. It was really crazy because when they were giving me the local anesthetic and they were like stabbing it in there and filling the top of my foot up, it like exploded and ruptured all this shit out of it, like the world's biggest
pus.
like the world's biggest zit. It was so disgusting. He's squeezing it and it's just coming out like toothpaste, dude. Just I was like, oh my God. He's like, dude, what were you doing? Why'd you wait so long? I was like, because I'm not a pussy.
Yeah.
It'll fix itself.
Because I could still walk.
He's like, because he's just fucking, he's like, God, these jarheads are stupid.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so anyways, that was interesting. So I kind of know what that death tissue infection type shit is. At least I didn't have to lose my foot.
Yeah. No, you
Almost.
for you.
Almost.
Yeah, wait too much longer, and that might have been a different story. But this is one of the first unknowns. But August 22nd, 1888, around 8:30 p.m., a shower of meteorites fell like rain on a village in Soleimaniya, Iraq, then part of the Ottoman Empire. One man died and another was paralyzed. The man's death was considered the only credible cause of death by meteorite.
Really?
I guess really what are the odds of getting hit by a meteorite? But I guess in a meteorite, when they're falling like rain, that odds kind of increase there a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like hail.
Yeah, but you would figure, I guess if I saw a meteorite going through the sky, I guess I'm not really in any sort of danger of being hit by it because it's at that point crashing through the atmosphere, which is causing the ability to see it. So it's not close or on a trajectory to hit me. So I guess it could
not
just
like it's
come out of
coming
nowhere.
right at you.
Yeah, they don't come straight down. So it would be.
And if you saw it coming at you, it'd probably just get bigger. Like you probably wouldn't realize what was going on. If you were looking at it dead on, it would just get brighter and brighter, and you're like, "Why is it getting so bright?" Like
I don't even know how bright. Yeah, I guess it would have some brightness to it still. Yeah, I don't know. That'd be. Was that a car? Is that what the hell? Just get smoked in the face by a softball from space.
Softball from space.
Yeah, that'd be a good movie.
Yeah, that is an interesting way to go, though.
Yeah,
death by meteorite.
Definitely unfortunate. We can definitely agree on that. Let's see. Bridget Driscoll, August 17th, 1896. Driscoll 44 was the first recorded case of a pedestrian killed in a collision with a motor car. She was struck on the grounds at Crystal Palace in London by a car belonging to Anglo-French Motor Carriage Company while giving demonstration rides.
So she was the first pedestrian killed by a car.
Yep,
Oh, how about that?
1896, way back
Hmm.
during
Yeah, how
car
about that?
demonstrations.
Well, now we know when that began.
Yeah,
Wasn't like the first automobile accident here in St. Louis?
I think it was not far from here. The first gas station was here in St. Louis. I remember
And I
that.
think the first automobile accident, it was like these two guys were one of the only few guys in town that had a
They even had cars.
and they ran into
Jesus
each other.
Christ. I'm
Oh,
sure.
what are the odds?
I'm sure Carver's horse accident was probably a lot more common than anything else.
Yeah. Well, that's enchanting.
All right, last one we'll do for tonight. We've got Empress Elizabeth of Austria, another Austrian. September 10th, 1898, Elizabeth was stabbed with a thin file by Italian anarchist Luigi Lucchini while strolling through Geneva with her lady-in-waiting. The wound pierced her pericardium and lung. Her extremely tight corset held the wound closed, so she did not realize what had happened, believing a passerby had struck her, and walked on for some time before collapsing.
So she was shanked.
Yep, she was shanked. Straight
Didn't
shank.
realize it.
Nope, cut one of her lungs and then the pericardium, which is the sac around the heart.
Mm-hmm.
So close to, I mean, if it would have hit the heart, that would have been pretty instantaneous, even with the corset. But it seems like the corset held at least the blood flow and everything in enough to maintain consciousness and mobility for some time before finally falling down and collapsing. But that would suck to get stabbed or shanked and not even know it.
Yeah, like, oh, watch where you're going, asshole.
Yeah.
And like a mile down the road, you're like, oh, I feel woozy. I'm not sure what's going on.
I've seen videos like in New York and other big cities where it's pretty populated and people are walking around where this guy, I no clue why or whatever, but walked up behind another guy and just sunk a knife in his back. And the guy was like,
that
what
looks
the
like
hell?
the dude.
Yeah, he's like, what in the hell?
He's like, what the fuck? What the fuck was that?
Yeah, he was just like somebody hit, didn't realize he had been stabbed. So he turns around, can't see the knife. So doesn't figure out what's going on, keeps walking. And there's just, closed captions footage on the street of him walking with this big knife sticking out of his back, going into a convenience store with a big knife until finally somebody asked him, like, why do you have a knife in your back?
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious?
I'm serious. It's video.
Hey, bro, by the way, is that a prop?
Yeah.
Is
that Halloween?
You got a knife? Is that a knife in your back?
Filming a movie somewhere?
What are you talking about? Somebody hit me, but
yeah, man.
No, bro, you got a knife in your back.
You got a fucking knife in your back. Sticking straight out.
Holy bejesus. Man, it's amazing what you can survive with knife cuts and stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can survive, and then at the same time, it's amazing how sometimes just one poke, one stab, and just that right magic spot will just take you down.
This is a crazy story. A friend of mine's mom was dating this guy that was in and out of prison, and he got a distress call from her one day, and I guess this guy was kind of beating on her or whatever. So I guess he could. I don't think the call was to call him and say, hey, this guy's kicking my ass. It was more of like talking to his mom, guys in the background. All of a sudden things kind of got sideways while he was on the phone with his mom. And so he, of course, decided to go over there. So he goes over there and walks in, and the guy's in the kitchen, and his mom's telling him to leave, and and there's this big altercation, and he like shoves his mom down, and dude's like, what the fuck? And so he went to go approach the guy, or kick his ass, whatever, right? And he didn't know it, but the guy had a butcher knife behind his back, and when he went to when he when this friend of mine went to attack the guy, the dude pulled this knife out and stabbed him in the stomach and then went up.
Oh yeah.
And it cut him from his abdomen all the way up out of his neck. So it just filleted him open from here all the way down to his stomach. And then when he grabbed his neck and hunched over, and then the dude stabbed him in the back with the butcher knife 3 times. He collapsed. Dude took off. Guess what?
Survived.
My buddy's still alive.
Jesus. Scar,
Lived, dude.
Good, pretty good scar.
Bro, the scar is the craziest shit you ever seen.
I can imagine.
It looks like those cool battle scars that are like all hard.
The cool ones. I get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cool one. Yeah. When you see it, dude, you're like, get the fuck out of here. He's like,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
I was like, damn, dude.
Jesus.
That's crazy. Yeah, and he survived. It's crazy shit.
Yeah, that's wild.
But I mean, it was just so sharp that it I guess it didn't hit anything horrible, no arteries or anything. Or did it? I don't know. I don't remember. But
I'm sure it had to hit something, but at least nothing major or unrepairable. So
it was not his. It was not meant to go that day.
No, not at all.
Nope. Somebody's looking out for him.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on that high note, we'll wrap this one up.
Yeah.
I
Nobody
on the high
died,
note,
but
yeah, nobody died, so that part's all good.
mhm.
That was actually a nice little change of pace from our other stories where everybody died. So yeah, actually a nice little ribbon on everything. So that is nice. Let's see what Nick put here. Oh man, I can imagine. Oh yeah.
Oh, hacked his foot off with a chainsaw. That is brutal. That is brutal. That's probably as gory as still has his foot. Get out of here. They put it on. That's awesome. Are we doing the podcast on Thursday? I hope so.
Tis the plan.
Yeah, I mean, I
now,
don't want to do it without Kenny, but Kenny, is getting better and doing his thing, and he's got a lot going on at the moment. So I hope he has some time to do it this Thursday. I really do. But we'll see, man. We'll see, buddy. Tripped over it in the woods.
Foot in the woods.
Get out of here, dude. Like kick it. Like, what the hell is this? It's all like flobby. It's all like floppy and
oh yeah.
What the hell is this thing? Oh shit, it's his foot. What the?
Found it.
Sounds like it's probably almost as gruesome and bloody as that dude getting hit in the throat with the skate.
Oh man, that
hockey player taking one to the jugular.
That was a mess. It was bloody quickly.
No,
very, very quickly. And they ended up arresting the guy that was wearing the skate.
Oh, they arrested him?
Yeah.
Did they think it was intentional?
I don't know. I mean, I guess that's what they're trying to claim or state, but I just don't see how something like that could. I mean, maybe it is. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I mean, they're running around on knives, so anything's possible.
Boy.
Yeah. Nasty, but
nasty boys.
Yeah.
I don't mean a thing. Tripped over in the woods. That's just crazy. Never know what you're going to find in the woods.
Yeah, it's amazing what you find out there. Everything's out there in the woods. All right. Well, we will wrap this one up. Make sure to catch us back again next week. If you have the ability, check us out on the YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe, share as always. If you have any recommendations of topics or genres, things of that sort that you're interested in, let me know. We'll try to work up an episode, and hell, we might even have you on to hang out with us.
Bet you didn't know. We it's very possible we could do some remote bet you didn't knows.
Sure.
From some very local. Now would be probably the great time of year. Adam, just some creepy in the woods, haunted places. I can think of a handful of cool places to go to where we can kind of freak ourselves out and set up a remote podcast. How do you feel about that?
I mean, you know how I feel about that. If it's got ghosts in it, I'm interested. So,
All right. Why don't
Yeah.
we do that for next Tuesday? Why don't we do something remote?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Let me rack my brain around it and try to come up with a good idea plan or something along those lines. Man, I wish the Aquadome was around. That would have been the place.
Yeah. That was their uranium enriching. Oh wait, was it a uranium? No, it was
I think it was heavy water.
heavy water. That's right. It was used for making bombs,
Hmm.
nuclear bombs.
Yep, and the treatment and things like that of uranium. So yeah, we still have some nice big pile of toxic waste out there. Maybe we could broadcast from the top of that pile of waste.
Yeah, there's a lot of big catfish around there.
There's a trail that leads straight up to it.
Well, yeah.
Well, a lot of the lakes just recently got tested for abnormally high levels of radiation out of bush
And?
wildlife. I'm not surprised
Anything?
as far as testing.
Yeah.
No, just that it was high. They didn't find any swamp creatures or three-eyed fish or anything like that. I don't think, but
Well, and for everybody watching, in case you didn't know, and I bet you didn't know, here in St. Louis, in a landfill not far from where Adam and I live,
mhm.
really not far from where Adam lives, is a underground fire that burns so hot that they cannot put it out. It's impossible to put out. Like literally, they can't put it out, and it's subterranean, and it is actually burning its way towards some nuclear and
It's like a waste dump from back
it
in the
was like
day.
a waste dump from World War II that they buried a bunch of shit out there, and now I guess a mile from that they created this landfill, and now deep in the ground the landfill's burning. They can't put it out, and it's burning towards all this nuclear stuff, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild situation. It almost reminds me of that. There's a town in Pennsylvania, I think it's like Centerville or Centralia or something along those lines, that it was a mining town for coal. And somehow, some way, the vein of coal that they were mining caught fire. And this town has been burning from the underground for years, like decades, 20, 30 years.
Really?
There's
Huh.
no way of putting it out. And I mean, until the coal reserve that they've got down there burns out, it's going to keep going.
Just gonna keep burning.
Mhm.
We are systematically killing ourselves.
Yeah.
Golly, between chemtrails and COVID and
Fracking and
oh my lord, man, that's all right.
yeah,
Something's got to give.
something's got to take us out.
Yep, sooner or later.
Exactly.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us.
Yes, indeed. Tune in next week. Tune in Thursday.
Yep.
Like I said, we're going to keep adding episodes of this and keep adding some more content out there on the channel. So
We're gonna keep adding, and it takes the
Keep going.
viewers like you to give us some more ideas about things to cover, about things we bet we didn't know that you don't know that we bet you didn't know.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, wrap your head around that one. So yeah, so like, subscribe, it's all on YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook when we go live, but go on YouTube, click
Yep,
the
that's-
subscribe button.
YouTube's got the best
notification.
place for all of the past
of it.
content, all the episodes, everything ADRL content goes onto there, so you can find anything that you'd be looking for there. Facebook's great for the updates, the reminders, kind of the heads up that it's coming in case you don't have the notifications on YouTube. But
Mhm.
YouTube is definitely the place.
It is, and if you didn't know, now you know.
That's right. All right. Well, we will catch you all next week, and we'll do this again.
Peace, chicken grease.
Bulls on parade.
Bulls on parade.